What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Terror Tuesday. So for this Terror Tuesday, I kind of wanted to take a step back and go back into the realm of film and kind of just talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for quite a while because I just think it's so interesting, and I think there's a lot of mixed thoughts and a lot of mixed ideas as to what really happened in this situation. So in today's video, we are of course going to be talking about the infamous Joker Diary. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is a book Heath Ledger was writing his thoughts, his ideas, and visions of how he wanted to portray this character. He really wanted this version of the Joker to come to life in his own sadistic way, and I think this diary really shows that. And as we look more into these pages, we will see how unhinged he really wanted this character to be. This journal shows just how seriously Ledger took his antagonist, and how he tried to instill the Joker's maniacal worldview into his mind for filming. You'll just see how chaotic everything was when he was crafting this diary. There is a documentary, it's called Too Young to Die. They talk about, I believe it's his dad reading the journal, and he was talking about how funny Heath Ledger was as a kid because his sister would put him in nurse outfits, and seeing that on screen was kind of like a full circle thing. His sister Kate would also say that he just loved this role, that he just had so much fun with it, playing this character and bringing his own version to life. And as you could see, a majority of the pages and the things that he wrote in this were just lines from the movie. He put everything into this role, from the way he was method acting to the people he was imitating, such as Tom Waits.
How long have you been singing?
Pardon me?
They tell me that you have sort of a cult following. Do you agree with that expression, a cult following?
I have a growing level of popularity throughout the intercontinental United States.
Johnny Rotten, Sid Vicious were all potential inspirations for this character. He also studied paintings by Francis Bacon, as you can see here how crazy these look. You could see why he was studying them. And director Christopher Nolan also had him read A Clockwork Orange. And again, as you will see in these pages, that was a big inspiration for bringing the Joker to life. And real quick, I just want to talk about what Heath Ledger was going through, what he did to prepare for such a role, and all the demons he was fighting for taking on the role. And as you will see, they're not that surprising when you get down to the actual facts of it all, but seeing it for what it is and for all the conspiracies out there, it does get pretty sad. So months before shooting, Heath Ledger isolated himself in his hotel room away from society, and this is where he spent a majority of his time writing this diary, crafting collages of disturbing images to get inside of the Joker's head. In 2007, from the set of The Dark Knight, he had spoken to Empire magazine, telling them that, "I sat around in a hotel room in London for about a month and locked myself away, formed a little diary and experimented with voices. It was important to try to find a somewhat iconic voice and laugh. I ended up landing more in the realm of a psychopath, someone with very little to no conscience towards his acts." And while filming, when it was time to actually get into the character of the Joker, he would go and read this diary to bring this character to life at will. It just shows you his true talents. And in the notebook, you might notice one figure that constantly pops up, Malcolm Dowell of Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece A Clockwork Orange from 1979. And then the last entry, the most disturbing one of all, is him in big words spelling out the words bye-bye, which again, with everything that went down, this is very sad to see because this was the last thing that he ever did do, which was filming The Dark Knight, and this was the last character he will ever play. And him saying bye was kind of just like an eerie message, just not knowing he was gonna die, because I don't believe he did know that. And unfortunately, on January 22nd of 2008, this is when Heath Ledger sadly passed away. He was found by his housekeeper and masseuse in his Manhattan loft. He was only 28 years old. And the sad reality of it all, he will never get to see the fruits of his labor on screen and see how much of an impact this character that he made his own come to life, and how much people like me believe that this is one of the best versions of this character, and I just know he would have loved it. But sadly, this was just 6 months before the release of The Dark Knight. During production, Ledger had a very hard time sleeping and would stay up most nights, suffering from insomnia. The cause of his death was a mixture of oxycodone, hydrocodone, diazepam, temazepam, I think I said that one right, alprazolam, and doxylamine. I might have butchered those last two, but these were all a mixture of the drugs that he was taking at the time. And Jack Nicholson, who previously played another version of the Joker in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman, when he heard of Heath Ledger's passing, he had said, "I warned him," making the world believe that he was talking about taking on the role of the Joker. That getting into the head of such a character can have such a toll on one's mind. But he later clarified by saying that he was talking about the sleeping pills that was found next to Heath Ledger's body, saying, "I didn't know Heath Ledger, but I know those pills." But some people still believe that he meant that playing the Joker has a dark effect on an actor. And according to his sister Kate in an interview, she doesn't believe that it was the role that ultimately led to his demise, but instead the unfortunate truth that Heath had an addiction to drugs and medication, warning him about mixing the drugs. And sadly, this would be one of the last conversations that him and his sister would have. I was a teenager when this movie came out, so of course I believe that, but seeing it in hindsight, it's just his addictions were more towards medication and drugs rather than the Joker character actually taking over his mind and making him so crazy like a lot of people believed. It just shows you how messed up you can get when you get an addiction to medication and drugs and alcohol or any other vice that you use to help you cope with things. And as unfortunate as it is, Heath Ledger fell victim to that world, and we lost such an amazing actor, and we will never see, not that we will never see another amazing actor like this again, but we will never see Heath Ledger himself doing another amazing performance like this. And that's the sad reality of it all. You know, he will be very much missed. I would have loved to see how he would have brought the character to The Dark Knight Rises, because for those of you who didn't know, the Joker was supposed to be in that movie with Bane, and unfortunately we will never know what that dynamic between the Joker and Bane would have been, but I just know it would have been great. But yeah, that was the Joker Diary. That was a quick story of Heath Ledger, where he was and all of that. And as unfortunate as it is that we lost such an amazing actor, his legacy will live on forever, and his version of the Joker will live on in infamy as one of, if not the best versions of this character we've ever gotten. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Terror Tuesday. Like I said, I kind of wanted to do something more in the realm of film and movies, and this was a perfect one to talk about because, like I said, this is something that I've been wanting to talk about because I know not a lot of people know about the story behind Heath Ledger and the Joker and the diary and the chaoticness that was all of this for this movie. Like, my wife didn't know anything about this, so hopefully she enjoyed this video as well, and hopefully we all learned a little bit of something about this. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and what do you think? Do you think that this version of the Joker, minus Heath Ledger's unfortunate passing, do you think that this version of the Joker is the best live action version of the character? Let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll get into it down there. But I will see you in the next one. Hope you have a great day. Later.